Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last part of our 100 subscriber special. We have billions of blinking lights behind us. Okay, maybe only three, but these are not only there just to occupy B, but these are also providing a valuable source to the space station. So we're going to get into that and the teleport system and how this links to the teleport system today. And before we begin, please don't forget to hit the subscriber button if you have not yet. And thank you so much for getting us to 100. Obviously, we couldn't have done it without you. And
Very true.
very, very true.
Didn't matter how many people I bribed with ice cream. Couldn't happen.
I'm sure maybe like 10 of them are because of the ice cream.
You think?
Anyway, to the spaceship. Okay, so here we are at the spaceship. Here's the remaining little bits of command blocks that we have in the spaceship. And just to remind everyone, we have a little rabbit at the middle of the spaceship. Oh, watch out! Watch out, B! Watch out! I can't place him. Ah,
Beep,
that's really bad.
beep.
No, he's going to start putting blast shields everywhere. That's okay. I'll just teleport him to me.
Oh, I tried to help. I really did. Wait a second. What happened to all my bees?
We don't talk about the bees.
What do you mean we don't talk about the bees? We talk about the bees all the time.
I had no comment. So if we head over here in a not so smooth segue over.
You can't run away from this.
These are the command blocks that need to take place within the space station. So here's the components. And it might look like a lot, but the reason it does look like a lot is because it's kind of condensed. That way it doesn't require much space. So we really have three components here. We have this whole line right here. We have this line here. And then this one is doing something as well. Okay, there's a fourth one too. And then this one, which is just a fail safe kind of thing. Okay, so first, before we start getting into what's happening here and over there with B, we need to look at this particular structure here. So this is just a fancy sorting system, really. So what this particularly is doing is it is taking all of the ships in the entire area. It's taking one rabbit at a time. It's saying, okay, rabbit, let's say, okay, we'll pretend that this is a rabbit, right? So it's taking this rabbit and saying, okay, we're changing you to the green rabbit now. Okay, we're picking you out of the pile and we're changing you to a green rabbit. Okay, so now let's check some things with this green rabbit. Let's put a hat on you. Let's put some sandals on you. Okay, so now we've figured out that you are not the rabbit that we want. So we're going to change you to a dragon. Okay, so now
Oh,
it does the next rabbit, changes it to a green rabbit, and then it figures out, do you have a hat on? Do you have sandals on? Something like that. And if it doesn't, then it changes it to a dragon. And then the next rabbit does the same thing. If it doesn't have a hat on, doesn't have sandals on, it changes it to a dragon. Okay, and then finally, if it gets to one of these and says, hey, wait a minute, you have a hat on. Okay, let's do something special with you. Let's take you and teleport you over there. Okay, and then once all of that has been done, it's figured all of that out, it changes all of them back into normal rabbits. So that's basically what happens there. After it's executed this, it will change them all back to regular rabbits.
mm,
So this is kind of a really bad analogy, but it's probably maybe the best one that we'll get with this. Okay, so this component here on this side, we'll start with this, the first one. All this is doing is it is teleporting this barrel, or rather it's cloning this barrel here. It's breaking the barrel, and then it's making a structure out of the teleport compass right there. And so this is important because later we'll need to grab that structure and then place it over a hopper at some point. So this is just a fancy way of that happening. So as soon as somebody comes on line, then it executes this whole command. It clones this. So you'll want a barrel, you'll want a compass in here that is named TP. And the way you can do that is give at player compass, and then we want it to be one item, one data, because this is a special compass. It's not a normal one. We're giving it a data value. That way it doesn't get confused by somebody walking into the airlock with a normal compass and then automatically getting teleported to the space station for some reason. Okay, so you give yourself a special compass, and then you'll just name this in an anvil, and then you'll put it in a barrel in this exact location, and then you're done with that part. Okay, so after it has cloned the barrel there, what it does is it takes it here, and then it's going to destroy the barrel, which means the compass will break and it will be in the air. Next, it will kill the barrel, the entity barrel, because there will be a barrel on the ground and a teleport compass on the ground. So it'll delete the barrel, then it will save it as the structure named compass. And that's what we really want there. We need this on a 20 tick delay just for it to function perfectly with everything else. And then it will delete the compass after it's saved the structure. And that's important because basically if we have one compass there, then next time this runs through, there'll be two compasses. So you really need this last command block as well. That one's important. Okay, so that's the end of that component. Basically, all it does, once again, is it gives us the structure teleport as a command block. I mean, as a structure block. How on earth? Those dragons are all moving their mouths at once.
I know. I'm starting a choir.
We need some note blocks to go along with it.
We do.
Get some
I'm
opera.
not sure what they're going to sing.
Maybe opera.
There's a bee song in the opera, isn't
I
there?
don't know. I don't know about this one.
Sounds like a bee. I don't remember how it goes, but there's a bee one. I'll find it. Now, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to do some modifying. You're a little bit high. Let's get you a little different.
These are the things that B works on
Mm,
while I'm talking about command blocks. This is why she's the artsy one. Regardless, this next component, what this does in simple terms is it does that checking routine. So it checks if there are any people in the airlock of the ship that have picked up the compass that is the data value number 1. So all this does is a fancy sorting system, this one here. Okay, so let's just run through it and check out what's happening here. Okay, so it changes it to a green skull. It just changes one of them to a green skull. And then it checks if anyone in the green skull ship has the compass that's in the airlock location. And then if that is true, then it will put the compass back into the hopper in the airlock. And then what it will do is it will teleport the player to the location in your space station. So these #2s, that all needs to be the coordinate location of where you want them to teleport once they've picked up the TP compass in their ship. Okay, after that, what it will do is it will add a tag. So basically now it turns it into a dragon head. And then it makes sure that it can't be identified as a green head anymore, basically. Okay, so once all of that has ran through, once it's changed all of them into dragon heads, this here will turn off, which turns this on, which says, okay, so make all of them not a dragon head or a creeper head anymore. So we're restarting the sorting system. Okay, so that's it. That's all that one does. So once again, teleport structure for the compass, sorting system to get people to the space station, and now this is the sorting system to get people back to their spaceship. Okay, So first off, this is the same thing. It's just a sorting system. And so you have the starting point of the check, and then this command that goes up here goes into these two blocks, and this is the one that changes the dragon heads back to and creeper heads back to normal heads in our weird analogy. So these two here are the same as these two here. And this purple block here is the same as this purple block here. So once again, we have it telling, basically changing the rabbit to a green head, and then it tests for if the hopper in the ship is the same as the hopper in the airlock on the space station. So it checks to see if this hopper here is the same as the hopper over here in our spaceship. Okay, and if those are the same, then it will execute this next command here, which is to teleport the player, all of the entities that are within the airlock, to the spaceship. Okay, then what it will do is it does this clone thing, and what it's cloning is a hopper here. Now you'll want to get a hopper and place it there, and then also input the teleport compass in there again. And you do that the same way, give player compass 1 1 data value, and then change it to TP in the anvil. Okay, but then you have another thing here that we added, which is a chest. We can't open it because it has the command block on top, but there's a chest here that is that same chest, and we put a few dies in here. The reason we did that is because later on people will be able to get free dies to put in this hopper to teleport them to the ship. So we'll see a demonstration of how that works exactly in a little bit. But then, after this command block is done, it goes into this one, which is just a blank one, because it's snaking around to the rest of it here. So this is a blank one, chain unconditional always active. This is also a blank one, chain unconditional always active, which goes into this bottom one here. It's changing it into a dragon head here in our analogy that we had. Okay, so that is it. Let me see that I got the full, okay, yep, that is everything. And you want to make sure that these are in the exact location here, and that's in the exact location. So if you're putting this in your spaceship, right, let's talk about that a little bit. These components here, these ones that I'm putting in this lapis block here, this lapis thing, these can go anywhere on the space station. It doesn't really matter where those go. But this and this and the airlock, if you follow the tutorial, it needs to be exactly like that and those exact locations. Otherwise, it will have issues. Or if you know how to edit the squiggly relative locations of things, then go for it. Be my guest. So lastly, this fourth one, what this does is if anybody has the compass within a radius of 7, it will clear it from their inventory. And then what it does is it clones these blocks over here and pastes them here. So basically, if I try and take this compass here, you see it's trying to put it back, basically. But really what's happening is it's clearing it from our inventory very, very, very quickly. And then it's filling this space with a new one. Because if we go ahead and take some of this dye here, throw it on the floor, reset this, you'll notice it's all back. So it's just a very quick cloning command there. And this one should work exactly as the other ones. I think our spaceship up there is using a yellow dye. So let's throw a yellow dye in there and then, oh, apparently it's not hooked up. But anyway, that is the gist of that. Okay, so let's check out what B is doing, and then we'll head over to the teleport in the spaceship. What is happening?
I had more volunteers.
Uh,
Well, and then they needed a nice place to perform, so I'm adding leaves and maybe some water. I haven't really got to the water part, but there's gonna be a fountain and a waterfall, and it's gonna be epic. Let me see. I can get water. Water. Don't you get a sponge out.
Export this to
Don't.
another planet later.
No! No! It looks really good here. There.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Oh.
fountain.
Oh. Oh,
Oh!
you killed them all.
No! I didn't mean
Oh,
to.
yes, a nice peaceful place to practice their choruses.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
So
Come on.
sad.
I'll take you with
Hmm.
me.
Oh,
I'll find you another place.
I did forget one thing. Okay, so all of these hashtags here, this hashtag #1 coordinate, what this is the location of this hopper. That's the reason it wasn't working before. So it needs to be the location of this hopper, the coordinates exactly. Okay, so that's it. Let's go over the ship.
No, no.
Bye.
Oh.
Okay, so let's look here. Okay,
Wait,
so now that we're familiar with the teleport command, we'll get into that bit a little bit. But what is happening? Wait,
I'm gonna say, did you leave
wait,
without
what?
me?
No.
What?
Leave without you? What are you talking about? I would never leave
Mm.
without you. This way, B. Come on.
But, but,
It's okay. I'll be over here explaining stuff to the camera, to our viewers. Okay, so now we have two more components here. We have this one that works with the blast shield, and then we have this one that tells the ship not to teleport if it's not within range of the space station. So this one, it registers if there's a rabbit named Station. So that means that we need to have a rabbit named Station at the center of our station, otherwise it won't know where it is. Okay, so we need to have a rabbit in that whole setup over there. Anywhere, it doesn't really matter where, just as long as it's safe and not going to be moving around. So this will activate when it's close to a station, which will tell this to make a sound inside the cockpit, which is about right here on the spaceship. And so once it makes a sound, you know that it is close to the spaceship, which turns this off. So let's get into what this is here, this second component. So when you are outside of a space station, let's say you wanted to teleport, right? You would walk up to here and then you would try and take the teleport, but it wouldn't work. So you would be able to take the compass into your inventory. But what this thing does is it makes it so that you can't put it in your inventory when you are outside of the space station radius. So all it does here is it tests if anybody in the airlock area has the compass 1-1. What it does is it clears it. And then what it does is it clones a hopper. Again, we need to have a hopper here with a compass that is 1-1 data value, and it is called TP. So it'll be right there. So what it does is it teleports, or rather clones that hopper to that location right there. And this all has to be in the same location, unless you know how to fiddle around with the relative coordinates there. Okay, so now that it's been cloned back to that area, then we have another thing here. So this just adds a nice little indicator, basically like to tell people that, you can't teleport here. It doesn't work like that. So as soon as they do that, it'll play that sound, and then they'll know that they can't teleport. Yep, so that's it there. And then this is a relatively simple thing for the blast shield, basically. All you have here is a repeating command block in the middle. And what it does is it tests if there's anybody that is within 2 blocks of this blast shield, the bottom block right there. If there's anybody within 2 blocks of that block. So if there is, if it executes successfully, then it will activate this chain block, which fills that area with air. Okay. So because it's executed successfully, that there's somebody within 2 blocks of that, then this will turn on. Then it will activate this impulse one, which is on a delay of 40 ticks, and it will fill it back with glass. So as soon as this one has done its command, it'll remain open for it's 40 ticks, so 2 seconds. It'll remain open for 2 seconds. And then that's pretty much it. So basically, if you wanted to teleport to the space station, let's go ahead and do a quick demonstration here. We would go up to our ship here, and then we would open this, and we have our yellow die here, which is just our ship's. Basically, it tells the system that that's our ship's code to get back. So that's our unique ship's passcode. We could even add another yellow die or a different block or whatever, it doesn't matter. And then we just click the teleport button. So that's how it works. And then if you would want to get back, you would go into one of the airlocks or wherever you had these set up. And then you would put in the same die in the same location. And then it would teleport you to it, just like that. Well, that's it. That is the entire thing. Whew, that was a lot of command blocks.
Yay!
I'm terrified. Please stand by. uh, I think
we haven't
I had a nightmare like
practiced.
this before.
So what? That's not very nice to say. They're practicing really hard.
I mean, the
I
music
mean,
is
you can't.
beautiful. I've never heard better. What am I supposed to be here?
Well, you can't. You know that they have to gain confidence first, so they just have to do this, like, and then they'll sing. Eventually.
Hmm, interesting.
They're just practicing their facial muscles. That's why there's a
Ah,
standby
ooh,
sign.
ah, ee, ah, oh, oh. So